I think I felt like, you know, people are trying to creep up on me, trying to try it. Hey guys, I'm Nate, welcome back to the channel. So today we're gonna talk about what it's like rolling around in a manual Hellcat Challenger, and specifically around like what kind of attention do you get in this type of car. So first of all, I bought this car because I just love the way that this car looks. I love the Challenger chassis and the looks of the Challenger all the way back to 2008, really, when the first ones came out, or actually even before that, the concept, which I thought they stayed pretty true to. So that's been my main driver behind the Challenger. I just think this is a car that stayed very, very true to its classic car roots, but it's got all the creature comforts and the engine power of something that is built today. So going back to 2009, when I got my first Challenger as an SRT, the car used to get a ton of attention back then. And that's because it really just came off the production line. The Challenger was brand new on the scene, and not a lot of people had the car, so they were pretty rare to find. I remember I even got a compliment on the car one day that it looked just like an old Challenger. Like, wow, you kept that car in great condition. I was like, well, I just bought it like last month, right? That's why it's in good condition. Because again, the design of it really stayed true to the previous Challengers, the Challengers from the 1970s. So back then they were pretty rare, and you still didn't see a ton of Challengers on the road, I want to say, until they did the refresh. And I think it was probably around the time that the Hellcat came out that you really started seeing just a lot more Challengers on the road in general. And so I credit that really with the Hellcat probably just bringing a ton of brand awareness to the car, in terms of, wow, you know, this car has a trim that goes up to 700 horsepower. And so, yeah, you know, I'm gonna go in there and take a look at it, but okay, that's a little bit outside my range. Maybe I'll just go for the V6. And I remember a salesman told me the same thing. He said they had a lot of people coming in originally for the SRT Challengers. They found it was a little bit too far outside affordability, but they go ahead and sell them on an SXT or an RT. I think that was genius, designed by Dodge, the 707 horsepower, which I think they still made a lot of money on, but it really did serve as like a halo car for the brand. Let's fast forward though, right to the Hellcat. So I had the 2009 Challenger, I had a 2011 6.4 liter, and then I stepped up to the Hellcat when the Hellcat first came out. Now, when this car first came out, there was nothing like it. It was just bonkers, right? Like, let's go back to 2015 or 2014 and look at what was on the scene. Well, you had the GT500 that was only 2013, 2014, that was, yeah, 661 horsepower, serious power numbers, but that was it. The V engines and the ZL1 engines, I think those only made about 550 horsepower back in the day. So when the Hellcat came out and it was 707 horsepower, like, everyone went kind of nuts. And if you watch some of my earlier videos, I think that was the reason why it was so hard to get one of these cars. It wasn't because the Challenger brand was so popular back then. It was because Hellcats made the Challenger brand so popular. So I remember when I first got this car, I would get attention everywhere, right? People would see the badge, they'd be like, oh wow, that's a Hellcat, I heard about that thing, it's got 700 horsepower. So my boss at that time, he was super into like BMWs, European cars, and so I told him, yeah, I got this Challenger Hellcat. He was like, all right, good for you, who cares, right? But then he heard some guys talking about it, I guess, one day when he was going down the elevator, and they're like, wow, you guys see that Hellcat that's in the parking lot? You know, the thing got like 700 horsepower, the thing's crazy. And so it's like, wow, what the hell is this car? Like, he take me for a spin. So there was just so much awareness about the car. So in 2015, when I first got the car, got a ton of attention on the car. I had actually thought maybe I should have debadged the car initially, because I'm not that type of person that really likes a ton of attention. I just enjoy my car, I like to drive it, and that's it. I bought this car because of what I liked about the car, not because I thought other people would like the car. Over the years, that has waned, right? So Hellcats, now they have like so many different flavors. They made them left and right. There's the red eye, there's the jailbreak, there's the Trackhawk, there's the Durango, like, you know, there's a Hellcat version for everything. So over time, that's waned. So right now, honestly, it feels like, you know, for me, I'm just driving around in a Challenger. Now, car guys know what a Hellcat is. They'll come and talk to me about it, but that's about it, really. And you know, when I used to take this car out to car shows back in the day, that's really the people that would show up, right? People that knew the Hellcat. I remember one of the things that was fascinating back then was the intake, right? The fact that Dodge hollowed out one of the headlamps to serve as the intake vent, this Venturi style intake vent. So I had a bunch of guys that approached me at a car show, and that's what they were asking me about. They were like, wow, that's really cool. Yeah, that's like a Venturi style for the intake, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, back then, Hellcats were pretty much all the rage. Now, one demographic that is notably absent from all years of the Hellcats or Challengers is girls. They could care less if you're driving a Hellcat or Challenger or whatever it is. So yeah, in terms of people trying you in the car, I haven't really encountered that much. I think while I was still in the break-in period, there was a guy in the GTR that was trying me while I had my wife in the car, and the car wasn't breaking. I wasn't really going to do anything. There's a lot of traffic too. But beyond that, I think I felt like, you know, people are trying to creep up on me, trying to try, and then they see the logo and they back out, back down. So if you're worried about people trying you all over the place in the car like this, I don't think you're going to run into that. And Miami is kind of ripe for that. So I feel like if it was going to happen, it would happen here, but I haven't noticed it. But yeah, that's really it. I mean, you know, it's just a regular Challenger now. I feel like it blends in. So don't buy the car for the attention, buy the car for the fun and the power it's going to provide you. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Check these ones out next, and I'll see you there. Thanks. Bye.